ladies and gentlemen, to Two-Way Street. I'm Addison Harvey. I'll be hosting the show today with Justin Barrow and Ronnie Moore. Today we're going to discuss a wide variety of conference championship games and Big East football. The first game kicking off the week is Thursday night, West Virginia at South Florida, 8 p.m. on ESPN. What are your guys' opinions on that one?
Well, I just like West Virginia in this game. I think they're the better team. They've got more to play for. They've still got a chance to go to that BCS bowl game. And I really think Skip Holtz over there at South Florida, he's got his eyes looking to a different job somewhere else, not too far from here, if you know what I mean. So I'm taking the Mountaineers.
I got you on that one. I think West Virginia, just no one in the Big East seems to be able to stop them. So they're going to roll right through again and be in a big bowl once again.
I have a lot of faith in South Florida's coach Skip Holtz, former East Carolina University head coach. Skip's playing for bowl eligibility at home. I'm going to take South Florida. Moving on to a game that also has a lot of meaning. UCLA sitting at 6-6 in the Pac-10 conference championship game against number 9 Oregon, 8 p.m. on Fox. Rick Neuheisel, job probably on the line. Officials said he's likely been dismissed from his duties. What are your guys' opinions?
I just think that, like, Oregon, their tempo, their speed, I don't see a mediocre UCLA team going for it. I know it's go big or go home. They make a bowl, and it's going to be the Rose Bowl, or they don't go to a bowl at all, but just Oregon seems too tough. I think that Oregon has kind of lost those 2 games, but it's, they were right in them both games, so
fact is, UCLA is a bad team. They got a lame duck coach. I swear you could go walk on 10th Street, find 11 people and go beat them. They're a bad team. Oregon gets the job done. UCLA's going nowhere quick.
The Ducks.
Personally, in that game, UCLA at Oregon, UCLA has a lot more to play for, playing for their head coach, playing for a bowl game, playing for a Rose Bowl berth. Give me UCLA in that one. You guys may think I'm crazy, but I'm calling the upset on the weekend.
All right.
In the Conference USA Championship game in Houston, 2 top 25 teams square off. Southern Miss number 24 back in the top 25. Number 6 Houston, noon kick on ABC. Who do you have, Barrett?
I'm gonna have to go with the Southern Miss Eagles, Golden Eagles. I think they've got good team speed on defense. I've seen both teams play live and in person, and I really think they're just the better team, or not really the better team. I think they're going to game plan well. I think Larry Fedora is somewhat familiar with the offense. I think they're going to come out. They're a hard-hitting team. They're a very physical team, and I know Houston's got a lot of speed and all that, but I think the defensive line of Southern Miss is going to be the difference, and they're going to pull off the upset in front of 15,000 in Houston.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one. Case Keenum, like we mentioned in the Heisman show, he's putting up numbers that are just ridiculous. Him and Patrick Edwards have something special. He's got multiple touchdowns in the last couple games, and Southern Miss does have good team speed on defense, as we saw against East Carolina, where they just turned it around like that and scored 21 points within less than a minute's time span. I could see it going that way, but I think Houston and Case Keenum are going to just pull through.
Let me tell you a difference maker for that. Hrapman, the kicker for Southern Miss, one of the top 5 kickers in the nation. He's the difference maker in that game.
I'm going to have to agree with Barrow here. Southern Miss team speed on defensive side of the ball. He's going to be able to pressure Case Keenum. I pick Southern Mississippi to pull off the upset there. Moving to another game, 3:30 kickoff. Number 22 Texas having a little bit of a sluggish year. Number 17 Baylor having one of their best seasons in school history. Ronnie, what are your opinions on this one?
I have one word for you. RG3. Robert Griffin III does everything in his power to keep his team in the game. And, he doesn't seem to lose. And even with his injury last week, I think he'll be able to come back. And, it's not their year. Like you said, a sluggish team. They just don't seem like they have the ability to control a game from the tip. And it is a big game. Biggest in Baylor history almost. I'm going with Baylor.
Texas just came off a big win, big rivalry win, and what could be one of the last for a long time against Texas A&M. They're rebuilding this year after a bad year last year. Texas doesn't lose much against in-state teams, but I'm going with the magic of Baylor. It seems like they got a special year going on behind Robert Griffin III. I think this is their year to really be the top dog in Texas. I'm taking Baylor.
I'm going to agree with you guys. I got Baylor in that one. Moving on to an 8:15 kickoff, Michigan State. What are you guys' opinions?
Talked about it earlier with Monty Ball, Russell Wilson. They should have beat them the first time around. Give me Wisconsin. I think they're the better team. I think that it was a fluke last time. I think Bielema's going to have his team ready to go. Give me the Badgers.
Don't test Wisconsin twice. As you can see last year in their bowl game against TCU, they had a big offensive line, and it's going to give Russell Wilson plenty of time. And even when it breaks down, he can get out and escape. So with that and Monty Ball running behind the offensive line, I don't see them stopping the Badgers again.
I agree with you guys. Wisconsin definitely has the edge there. The final game that we're going to talk about today, the always entertaining SEC championship, number 14 Georgia playing in Atlanta versus number 1 LSU. Probably national championship berth on the line for LSU. What are your guys' opinion on that one?
I don't even like this game right now. I mean, they don't even have the 2 best teams in the SEC playing in the championship against each other. I mean, they're leaving Alabama out. Yes, they're in the West with LSU, but LSU just doesn't seem unbeatable really right now, especially for a Georgia team that's young and has made childish mistakes this year in some of their games to keep them out of the top 10. And I believe that LSU is just going to keep on going to the national championship.
Well, if you beat the Georgia Bulldogs, you're going to feel the Bulldog bite. But not today, because LSU is just a better team. Nobody's beating LSU this year. They just, defense is over the top. Les Miles, one of the best coaches in America. Give me LSU.
I'm going to throw you guys both a little curveball here. Georgia playing in their home state, a little more to play for with the BCS berth on the line. Give me Georgia in that one in the upset. Throw in a curveball in the BCS rankings. Well, boys, I think that's all we have time for today for our selection show, Two-Way Street. Thank you guys both for being here, Ronnie, Farrah.
No problem.
And ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to seeing you next week on Two-Way Street.